Hello and welcome to my defence video. My name is Michael Patrick Wood and my dissertation topic was the impact of CRMs on a business. Specifically for my project, I had a client called Experience UX and we used Zoho CRM. Now, Experience UX is a small business. It consists of 6 employees, of a sales team and a research and development team, and they operate within Bournemouth, specialising in developing softwares and websites to be more specific for users, to become more user friendly. So, an overview of what I did to complete this project. First of all, why? CRMs are become extremely popular now. They're a way of saving employees' time, which equals in saving money. CRMs show a lot of information and they are used to automate tasks. And how I went about completing this. First of all, I had to do an analysis on the existing system, and I also had to analyze their workflows and ask why they were completing each task as well. I also researched and designed solutions. Now, specifically within this project, my client Experience UX wanted me to use Zoho, so I designed solutions based on Zoho capabilities. I also trialed new tools as well within Zoho. So here's an example. This is the original homepage. Each box here should display a piece of information that is important, as it's on the homepage and it's the first page that you should see when you open the CRM. As you can see here, the boxes on the left portrays information, so you need to scroll across, which the employees didn't like, and the box on the right hand side don't really display any important information. Purely by looking at this homepage, you don't get much out of it. You can't really receive much information. So here's the new homepage. First of all, in the top, you can see that if I go back, multiple tabs are on the top navigation bar, and now the navigation bar is quite concise and only displaying the important tabs. Secondly, the My Tasks this week will display the user's task that is logged in. This is important as it demonstrates what the employee signed in should focus on that day or that week. Secondly, priority tasks. This is so everyone's aware of the important projects that's due to come in. And again, the two informations are displayed in the exact same way, and they don't need to scroll across here to actually see the information. Underneath the tasks is the home page, is the home pipeline, sorry. And this is ordered by stage. So the stages go from 1 to 10, 10 being most likely to come in. And as you can see there, they're high numbers. They've got quite a few projects that are close to coming in, and that's the projects that they should focus on and the clients they should talk to. And that's important because it demonstrates here the amount and the account name. So if they are needing a sale that month, they can focus on those clients more than others. Underneath here is the sales performance against their targets and the sales per month. And the sales per month is based on a month-by-month comparison to demonstrate how well they're doing this month compared to other months. It also works really well because, as you can see, 1 month there they got only £3,000 of sales, but the next month they exceeded their target by an extreme amount. They got almost 100,000 the next month. So it kind of helps put things in proportion for them as well. So the overall improvements that I made, workflow. So workflow rules are rules made in the background of the CRM system to automate certain things. So for example, if a prospect is added to the pipeline, a task is automatically made to follow up with that client to check up on how they're doing a week later. So it forces them to stay in communication. There's also a reminder if the client decided not to go with Experience UX, if they decided to decline the sale at any point, to follow up with them 6 months later, just to keep that communication going. As Experience UX, the manager says it's so difficult to manage everything and know where to keep their attention, whereas the workflow rules now ensures that they focus on client communication. I also automated a number of reports. This saves Experience UX management 10 minutes each month, as now they don't need to go in, download, and send a report. It's now automatically there. I've discussed the navigation bar and setting targets. These two features I've had a great response from Experience UX. It shows concise information and it's obvious now, especially with the navigation bar. They're not messing around with pressing extra or anything like that. They can now see the navigation that they want and the tabs that they use. Restructuring information. So there was a number of elements and fields that they just weren't using. So I removed the fields that they weren't really using and made the important information clear on every page. And he also taught them the new way to use the system. The problem with Experience UX and a lot of other similar businesses is they just haven't been taught properly how to use it, which means that they can't use it to its full extent. So demonstrating the system properly after making the improvements really helped them use it properly. I also did a trial, so we trialed the next edition for within Zoho, and this actually cost them £135 per year more if they were to make the full investment in doing this. Now, we actually found that they didn't need the features that this extra feature was using, whereas previously a person who maybe wasn't as familiar with Experience UX would have said, go for the next edition, it will solve the problem. We actually realized by trialing it that it didn't have the great effect as what it was promised, which kind of demonstrates that you can have a great system, but if you're not specializing in it, if you're not specifying the features, it's not as good. So here are the recommendations that I made by working with Experience UX. Firstly, I had to understand the workflows that were required from the entire business and gather the requirements. I also had to research solutions within Zoho, and here are the recommendations I made. Firstly, Sandbox. Sandbox is a development space within Zoho, which allows a test bed to, developments made in this test bed. I also recommended Zoho Projects. This is so you can track projects as well as client information, and that can be used by the entire team rather than just the sales team. I also recommended Sales IQ, which is an extremely advanced feature which will bring an alert, in fact, to employees at Experience UX if a person who is a client is on the website, and it has tools to automate chat with people on the site as well, which will help them gain new clientele. Lastly, I recommended forms. This will mean that they don't need to go in to the forms that people have entered information into and update their CRM system. This will do it automatically for them, and it will also set reminders to follow up with that client as well. Here are the main lessons that I've learned from completing the project. Firstly, all requirements and all developments need to be very specific for the business. There's no point in just giving a one solution fits all, as you need to specify the exact workflows that businesses use on a day-to-day basis. You need to specifically tailor for that business. Secondly, there's also many user errors that are that cause wrong use of the system. If you're using the system wrong, it won't work to its full potential. So highlighting these and demonstrating how to use it properly was an important part of this project. And also prioritizing user requirements. Client creep is a common problem within software development. So prioritizing what the user really wanted and restricting the amount of requirements that they had per week was something that really helped me manage this. And finally, that CRM is a fast growing industry. This is something that's not going to go away in the next couple of years. In fact, it's going to grow massively. So really understanding CRM systems is something that I will take away from this dissertation, as I've learned it's extremely important and extremely fast growing industry, seen as how much of a positive impact it can have on a business. So thank you for listening. I've been Maya. Hope you're well.